Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive all about The Witcher 4. Obviously, like you, we're all hyped after that Game Awards trailer. Ciri is the main character. That's huge.
Seriously, like a total mic drop moment.
Exactly. So we got to unpack this right. Where's Ciri at now compared to The Witcher 3?
That's the thing, right? We saw her training at Kaer Morhen.
Oh, yeah.
And the trial of the grass is just brutal.
Right. Glimpses of her power, but now we're not just watching her, we're playing as her.
That's the whole game changer, right?
So, I mean, that silver sword using the signs.
Potentially even those crazy elder blood abilities.
Which, speaking of, that's where things get wild, right?
Yeah.
The trailer, she's fighting so differently, mixing Witcher stuff with magic.
So fluid, right?
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, what's combat going to be like?
Brand new mechanics, maybe? Skill trees, specializing in swordplay or signs, or like a hybrid.
Well, Projekt RED keeps saying player agency is key for The Witcher 4. They've even mentioned Cyberpunk 2077, how that was so flexible.
But hold on, Cyberpunk was all about builds and choices. The Witcher's always been story-driven.
That's the mystery, right? They're being cagey, but it seems like they want a system that reacts to what you do. So not just the story changes based on Ciri's choices, but maybe her gameplay options, her fighting style even.
Whoa. Okay, so like which Witcher school she favors.
Yeah.
Or whether she goes stealthy, talks her way out, or just charges in, all depending on us.
Exactly. Think about it. She's young as Witchers go, lots of room to grow, and it seems Projekt RED wants us shaping that.
So we've got a Ciri who's part Witcher, part mage, devs pushing for player freedom, and this whole world to explore.
Right, but we got to address the elephant in the room. The voice actors change.
Yeah, new Ciri, Ciara Berkeley. A lot of chatter online, some excited, some not so much.
I get it. Joe Wyatt, her voice in The Witcher 3 was iconic.
For sure.
It'll be interesting how Berkeley makes the role her own, right?
True. And, you know, maybe a new voice helps make this feel like Ciri's story, truly separate from what came before. Gives Berkeley space to shine without constant comparisons.
That's a good point. New saga. Fresh start, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of beginnings, we gotta talk about that Elder Blood legacy. For folks new to The Witcher, this is where it gets deep.
Okay, break it down for me. Elder Blood, why is it so central to Ciri? Powerful, sure, but like the quick version, what's the deal?
Think of it as this hidden power passed down through generations, giving Ciri abilities beyond normal Witchers. We're talking dimension hopping, messing with time, maybe even altering reality.
Okay, that's more than just signs and potions.
Right. Huge power, but also a target on her back. Remember that prophecy about Ciri's child?
Yeah.
That's tied to Elder Blood, like her bloodline could save the world or wreck it.
Whoa, okay, so destiny versus choice, that classic chosen one thing, but with a Witcher spin? That's intense.
And Projekt RED loves those gray areas. They'll explore the unintended consequences, the hard choices that come with that kind of power.
Which leads us to that trailer, that cinematic.
Yeah.
Let's break it down bit by bit, because I swear every shot means something.
Absolutely. First thing, we see Ciri. Seasoned Witcher, she moves like a pro.
Yep.
Deadly, but there's this edge to her, like a wildness that Geralt never had.
It's like she's got that Witcher training, but then this untamed elder blood power too. Which, speaking of that fight scene...
Oh, yeah. She's fighting a Bauk, by the way, straight from Serbian folklore. Projekt RED, they love bringing real mythology into their monsters, and the Bauk is no exception.
So it's like they're saying this isn't just any fantasy. These creatures are rooted in real beliefs.
Adds a whole other layer, right?
Absolutely.
And the way Ciri takes it down, it's not just swordplay and science. She's using powerful magic, stuff way beyond a typical Witcher. I think that's a big clue about how her elder blood is developed.
I'm already imagining these insane boss fights where you're switching between Witcher moves and magic attacks.
Blending the best of both worlds.
So cool.
And then that ending, right? Ciri tries to save this girl from a sacrifice.
Yeah.
But because of what she does, the girl dies anyway. Total gut punch.
It's classic Witcher, right? The tough choices where nothing's easy and your actions have consequences you don't expect.
Makes you think about the responsibility that comes with power, how good intentions can go wrong.
Especially with Ciri's elder blood, her choices could affect the whole world.
Exactly. It's not just her life at stake. It's nations, power struggles, maybe even reality itself.
So they're setting the stage for a story where morality is complicated.
They're not going to give us easy answers. They'll make us question things, maybe even feel uncomfortable, which is what makes The Witcher so good.
So to recap, we've got Ciri as a Witcher, hints of big gameplay changes, a story that's morally gray, and just a ton of lore and world building.
We need a break to process all this.
Yeah, there's just so much here. But this is just the start of our deep dive. Stick around for part 2, where we'll get into the timeline, the politics, and maybe even speculate a little about Geralt. You don't want to miss it.
A witcher? Witcher! Whose coin did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods.
No! You chose her.
Okay, back again. Still diving deep into The Witcher 4. This time, let's talk about the when and the where of this whole thing. CD Projekt RED is being super vague about the timeline. But there are clues, right?
Dude, that's what's been bugging me since the trailer, years after The Witcher 3. Decades. Is Ciri, like, just starting out as a Witcher, or is she a total veteran now?
Judging by the trailer, definitely not a beginner. That confidence, how she took down the Bauk, that takes time, you know?
Right, but she still seems pretty young.
So maybe it's that sweet spot. Enough time has passed for her to level up her Witcher skills, but not so much that it feels totally disconnected from The Witcher 3.
Makes sense. They've been calling this a new saga, a fresh start, both for new players and for us who've been around since the beginning.
It's smart, right? They're not going to alienate anyone by jumping centuries ahead.
Which I appreciate, because I've played The Witcher 3 a bunch, but I haven't read all the books or played the older games.
Yeah.
So I won't be totally lost, but there's still going to be tons of lore to dig into for the hardcore fans.
It's the best of both worlds. Accessible to everyone, but with those little details and connections for the diehards.
Speaking of hardcore fans, there's this theory going around that The Witcher 4 is going to be set during some crazy political upheaval. I mean, the Witcher world is already a mess, right? And Ciri's elder blood, that could just throw everything into chaos.
It's totally possible, and it wouldn't be out of character for CD Projekt RED at all. The Witcher is known for its complex politics, all those kings and sorceresses and countries fighting for power.
And Ciri, with her abilities and her bloodline, she'd be right in the middle of it. Imagine the possibilities, leading armies, using elder blood to turn the tide of battles, or maybe getting caught in the crossfire, trying to stay true to her Witcher ideals while the world around her is falling apart.
Right, and the devs have hinted that this new saga is going to deal with the fallout from Ciri's choices in The Witcher 3. Like, if she chose to become Empress,
Oh, yeah.
that would change everything.
Totally. And then there's that prophecy about her child.
Yeah, that's like a ticking time bomb, adding another layer of tension to everything.
It could start a war, or people could use it to manipulate others.
There's so much potential for political intrigue in The Witcher 4. I can't wait to see how they work it into the story. Will it be just the backdrop for Ciri's journey, or will it be a source of conflict, or will she even try to use it to shape the fate of the continent?
Okay, so we've got a possible time frame, a world that's about to explode politically, and a protagonist who could change everything. But what about the setting itself? The Witcher 3 was visually amazing, with all those different landscapes and incredible details. What can we expect from The Witcher 4?
The trailer gave us some hints, right? Wide open spaces, mountains, forests. They're definitely pushing the limits of their tech to create even more immersive environments.
And Ciri can travel between dimensions, so could we see totally new parts of the continent?
Yeah, or even go beyond the continent completely.
Whoa.
I wouldn't be surprised. CD Projekt RED loves to build these rich, detailed worlds. They've said that The Witcher 4 will have places we recognize and some completely new areas too.
Imagine, like, exploring these massive cities, or finding ancient ruins, or fighting monsters in forests that are full of magic.
I can already picture getting lost in those environments, finding hidden quests, discovering secrets that nobody's ever found before.
And with interdimensional travel, imagine going through a portal and ending up in a world that's totally different from anything we've seen in the Witcher games so far.
The possibilities are endless, and you know CD Projekt RED is going to pack those environments with detail and lore.
Okay, so we've talked about the timeline, the politics, the world. It's already shaping up to be an incredible game. But there's one more thing I have to ask about.
You're going to ask about Geralt, aren't you?
You know it. I mean, this is Ciri's story, a fresh start, but come on, I gotta know if we might see Geralt again.
I get it. He's such an iconic character. CD Projekt RED hasn't ruled it out completely, and there are actually some hints in the lore that he could still be alive. Centuries after The Witcher 3, even.
Hold on, what hints?
Do you remember Season of Storms, that prequel novel? It takes place way before the games, and it suggests that Geralt might be able to live for a really long time.
So there's a chance we might see him again, even if it's just a cameo.
It's possible the internet would go nuts.
Totally. But even if Geralt doesn't actually show up, his legacy is going to be everywhere in The Witcher 4. He's a legend. And Ciri learned so much from him.
Absolutely. She's forging her own path, but she's carrying everything she learned from Geralt with her.
Maybe we'll see some flashbacks or references to his adventures. I'm sure CD Projekt Red will find a way to pay homage to him without taking away from Ciri's story.
Even the smallest hint, like hearing his voice or seeing a glimpse of his silver sword, that would be enough for the fans.
Okay, we've covered a lot in this deep dive. The timeline, the politics, the setting, even the possibility of Geralt coming back. My brain is full.
There's a lot to process, but that's what makes The Witcher so great. Always something new to discover. And this deep dive isn't over yet. We've got one more part to go.
Don't leave me hanging. What's next?
Next, we're going even deeper. We're going to talk about the themes and the ideas that CD Projekt Red is exploring in this new saga. The stuff that will really make us think.
Bring it on. I'm ready to get philosophical. Okay, final part of our deep dive into The Witcher 4. This is where things get really, really interesting. We're going past the surface, past all the theories and rumors, to the core of what makes The Witcher so awesome, The themes, the ideas, the stuff that stays with you long after you've finished the game.
Time to get those brain cells working. CD Projekt Red, they're known for putting some deep stuff into their games. And with Ciri as the main character now, well, it's going to get even more thought-provoking, I think.
For sure. So let's start with the obvious, right? Ciri going from princess to full-blown Witcher. What does that tell us about what CD Projekt Red might be trying to explore in this new game?
It says a lot about identity, about taking control. Ciri, for most of her life, she's been pushed around by others, a pawn in their games, people hunting her, using her, making prophecies about her, always trying to control her.
And now she's like, nope, I'm choosing my own path.
Exactly. Becoming a Witcher, it's risky, it's tough, but it's her choice, and that's huge.
Like she's saying, forget being a princess, forget being an empress, and give me something more, something different.
Totally. And it's more than just the title, right? Witchers, people fear them, hate them, even though they're the ones protecting everyone from the monsters.
So she's choosing to be with the outcasts, the ones society rejects.
Yeah. Which leads us to another big theme in The Witcher. Prejudice, discrimination.
Oh, for sure. Witchers are seen as mutants, freaks, less than human. But they're the ones on the front lines keeping humanity safe.
It's like a metaphor for how we treat anyone who's different, who doesn't fit in. And Ciri, with her powers and her elder blood, well, she's probably going to face even more prejudice than Geralt ever did.
She's a challenge to the status quo, a threat to the people in power.
Yeah.
And playing as her, we're going to have to deal with those uncomfortable truths about the world.
Absolutely. And remember that scene in the trailer? Ciri tries to save that girl from the sacrifice, but her actions end up getting the girl killed.
Ugh, yeah.
That's pure Witcher right there. Another big theme. Choices and consequences. No easy answers, even when you're trying to do the right thing.
And with Ciri's elder blood, the stakes are even higher. Her choices don't just affect her. They could change the whole world. Countries, wars, even reality itself.
That's a lot of pressure. It makes you think about destiny, free will, all that stuff. Is Ciri bound by prophecy? Can she really choose her own path?
Those are questions that have always been there for Ciri, and it seems like The Witcher 4 is going to dive even deeper into them.
And knowing CD Projekt Red, they're going to make us wrestle with those questions, make tough choices, see the consequences, and face the dark side of power, responsibility, good and evil, all that.
That's what I love about The Witcher. It's not just about fighting and romancing. It makes you think about what it means to be human, the choices we make, the impacts we have on the world.
Right. In a world as complex as The Witcher's, those choices matter. They have weight. They shape Ciri's fate and the fate of everyone around her.
Lots to think about, but that's what makes it so good, right? It's a game that sticks with you, makes you think about the bigger picture, even after you're done playing.
Exactly. And that's what we're expecting from The Witcher 4. Stunning visuals, tons of action, but also a story that challenges us, makes us think, maybe even changes our perspective on things.
So before we wrap up, what are you most excited for in The Witcher 4?
For me, it's seeing Ciri redefine what it means to be a Witcher. She's not bound by the old ways. She's this mix of power and heart, and I want to see how that plays out in her story, her choices, her destiny.
Absolutely. And it's not just about Ciri. It's the world, the characters, everything CD Projekt Red is going to create. The Witcher is special, and I'm confident The Witcher 4 is going to be another masterpiece.
Couldn't agree more. So there you have it, our deep dive into The Witcher 4. We've covered a ton, but this is really just the start. The conversation goes on, the theories will get wilder, and the excitement is only going to grow.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, keep your silver swords sharp your mind's even sharper, and be ready for the choices that await you in the world of The Witcher.
That's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods, to go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian Kalemba and I'm the game director of The Witcher 4, our new game. And this is our official breakdown for the very first cinematic trailer of the game. So let's dive right into the trailer. The first sequence sets up the stage.
Dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow from a devilishly curious child.
We have two characters. They are preparing for something. One character is preparing for some kind of a ritual, tradition, clearly a celebration. But the second character is purely preparing for the battle, for the encounter. Two different characters, preparation, but a different set of tools. It looks like a wedding, maybe, but as you see, it's not festive at all, right? People are not laughing, people are not happy. This is Stromford. This village is totally isolated place up north. And, you know, the world of The Witcher is full of folk, full of grim, the darkness, monsters. The way they deal with monsters for ages is sacrificing their people. Here we reveal this young girl. Her name is Mioni. She tends to be sacrificed by her father, by the villagers. That's why this moment is so emotional. These people are kinda saying goodbye to someone that they know from that young. Okay, so now these characters join. Their paths are going to cross in a second. You have two swords on her back, the silver for monsters and the steel for humans. You have idea for sure that this is a Witcher.
A Witcher? Witcher! Whose coin did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods.
No! You chose her.
Okay, you have no idea how long we've been waiting for this moment. I mean, the entire team that invests so much passion into this project in recent years. We've been waiting for years to be able to finally show Ciri as the main protagonist of the game. Ciri is one of these characters that, you know, the sentence that if there is less evil, lesser evil, I'd rather to not choose at all. Ciri will always choose. When it comes to the happiness, the moments that she was really happy about her life, it was in Kaer Morhen, among the other Witchers. For good and for bad, she wants to become a Witcher. In the word become, there is a journey. And I want people to experience this journey. As soon as we entered the woods, we decided to change the cinematography of this part, in that moment. We wanted to make it more magical, more atmospheric. We wanted to make you sense, smell the evil that is living in this cave. And maybe you can question why Ciri was actually waiting for this moment. She is a professional monster hunter. And she knows that using Mioni in that case was actually her advantage. She was, by pushing Mioni into the woods and letting her sing the song that calls the evil, she's also at the same time luring the evil.
Now. Nay!
So there's this moment when she stops exactly when she knows that the evil woke up. That's the moment when Ciri pushes Mioni back to the village.
Run!
As soon as the fog appears, Ciri knows that there's a point of no return. Ciri enters the heart of darkness. She hears these noises, the voices, some kind of hallucinations. she's a bit puzzled. Yeah, you see, like she's not able to spot the monster. This is the way how this creature fights. It tries to play with your fears. There's the moment of the opportunity that Ciri drinks a potion. This potion, it's not a regular potion. It's a poison witchers are capable to prepare. And she's becoming deadly focused here. There's no voices again, no fears. And this is the moment when she spots him, and this is the moment when the real duel starts. Finally, we are revealing Bauk, the monster. Very powerful creature in this world. And as you see, also we are showcasing something special about Ciri. Ciri is a powerful source. She can drain the energy out of the elements in this world and catalyze it into the very powerful spell. And that way, she built another opportunity window. To be able to chop his limbs, finally uses one of his utility tools, chain, we're presenting here. And we are also referring to the very first trailer that we showcased years ago, The Witcher 1, Geralt fighting with Striga. Here we have the chain. More than that, Ciri is able to chant this chain. And that's why there's this fire spell on top of it, which makes this chain even stronger. And this is another tough lesson in this grim world. Ciri wasn't able to save Mioni because some people are incapable of change. Bauk won because they let themselves being still driven by the fear. She knows for sure that they'll get this at some point because the fog will never get back. They will probably remember her, the silver-haired girl who saved them. And there's going to be a moment of change, but the time needs to come.
That's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods, to go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
This world is dark, is grim, but there is a light. There is this warmth, there is this hope in the end. In this case, Mioni got killed by her people. But as you know, our games, there are choices and consequences. There's going to be a way to save her. And this is the hope that the Witcher world brings also. That actually gives you this contrast between grim and hope. And this is what I love in this world.
Dearest daughter, I've watched ye grow from a devilishly curious child into a remarkable young lass with much grace, wisdom, and kindness. Tain't the easy times what shape us, nay. 'Tis how we rise to face the hard times what does that for us. Ye've an heart of gold. Ye've the spirit to overcome adversities aplenty. Darling, sweeten. Today's the day ye fill out your destiny. Forgive me, daughter. 'Twere my only choice.
I shall be the bringer of salvation.
A witcher? Witcher! Whose coin did ye take? Nay, you can't. 'Tis tradition. Chosen she is, by the gods!
No! You chose her. Back to the village. Go, now.
Nay! I must save them! Save the village!
Save yourself! Run! To shelter! To your father! Run!
She were to go to the woods. The chosen one. It's tradition. Oh no, no, no. It's all we wanted. For her to go to the woods. To go to the gods.
Gods? There are no gods here. There are only monsters.
CD Projekt RED are experts in open-world game design with The Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk 2077 combining freedom of exploration with compelling storytelling in unparalleled fashion. Through a new partnership with Epic, CD Projekt RED is building a brand new Witcher saga with UE5.
Our cooperation with Epic has just started. It was the shift towards open world support that brought Unreal Engine 5 to our attention.
So there was one demo that happened last year that was the medieval environment demo, where at one point there's a notice board that looks strangely familiar to things we've done in the past, that has even a sign that says Monster Slayer Wanted. And I'm like, are they trying to tell us, come over to Unreal Engine, look how great your games could look on there? Was that whole demo made with that nefarious purpose? I don't know, but it definitely caught my eye.
This opens a new chapter for us, where we really want to see how our experience in building open world games gets combined with all the engineering power of Epic.
One of the things that is really important to keep in mind when talking about open world games versus, let's say, more linear games is the possibilities of the things that can go wrong, or the scenarios that you have to consider are exponentially higher than linear games. Players can go in whatever direction that they want. They can handle content in any order that they want, theoretically. And to really encapsulate that means that you need a really stable environment where you can be able to make changes with a high level of confidence that it's not going to break in 1,600 other places down the line.
Unreal Engine is like a toolbox which has a lot of features, a lot of solutions already there that allow teams to just try new stuff. The fact that Unreal is used by a lot of teams already in the world, a lot of perspectives are projected into the design of the tools, and that helps the tool to be way more agile. So all in all, it's a really, really cool technology to prototype and make environments really quickly, really beautiful, and very realistic.
Epic and CD Projekt RED are the two companies that really want to achieve something great. We won't stop just by developing some features. We won't stop there. Yeah, we will continue to work together to achieve something extraordinary in the end.